Hello everybody and welcome to a GameMaker tutorial. In this video we'll be making a fully working quest system. So just a few quick bits. This will be quite complicated. If you have no knowledge of DS grids or for loops, this probably isn't for you. It uses them quite a lot. So yeah, it's quite advanced. So, we'll make our quest bit. Yeah, we'll do a quest first, so we don't need a sprite. So get a code, make this. No, we don't need to make this big. This is a really short bit. It's just initializing the grid. Initialize the quest grid. So, global.quests. I just find it's easier to use a global variable for our grids. People will be shouting at me and stuff, but don't make all these variables. But I find it easy. So what we're going to be doing here is we have two slots. So one for our name, one for our information about our quest. We've got 8 slots, which means we've got 7. 7 little quest slots, so you can have 7 quests at once. So we're gonna DS grid clear global.quests, and we're gonna set them all to empty. You can just put like nothing, just like that, but I find it looks ugly because it still draws the boxes. Then this bit is very key. I missed it out on when I was testing, and I was like, why isn't it working? Yeah, it just sets the size. You might want to fiddle with this, but for this tutorial, works like that. Now, we're gonna want our alarm 0. So remember to put some code in, and just I don't know, I like putting silly comments in. So let's just put hi YouTube. It's just a bit of fun, a bit of fun in all this coding. So this bit needs to be bigger because this is a big chunk. So when R is pressed, quest be gone. That's what I called it. I thought. So yeah, this is our for loop now. So we're gonna do I equals 0, which just stands for index. Yeah. I is bigger than DS grid. Height. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this may be split up into several videos. I don't know so far. So I won't have me doing the intro or outro on it. It'll just be one constant bit, but I'll probably release them a bit over time. What's going wrong here? That's why I put a. So what this is doing is it's scrolling through all of our quests. Just the -1 keeps it set up. I can't remember what I did. I came across lots of errors and ended up doing that. So it works that way. I'll keep it that way. So what we're actually doing at the minute, I forgot to say, was we're deleting quests basically. So even though we haven't drawn them yet, we're going to be deleting them. So we're going to have our X view. you might want to change this. This will be a lot easier if you're not using views. But I've just assumed that most people use views. Because I certainly do. I use them in all my games. They're very handy. What? Wait, no, X view still. We don't want Y view yet. So these are just a few variables and stuff that I made up. A few numbers I picked out my hat. You can change these all you want, basically. They're not set in stone. It just looks good, on my view. Which I'll show you what my view is later when we come to that. So lots of random numbers, lots of very complicated numbers, sums, maths stuff. If you're good at maths, then you can work all that out and come to some stuff, some interesting numbers. But basically it draws it here, of this corner here. I don't know if I've highlighted it all. Actually, I'm going to put it here because this stops it from doing random for loops that don't need to be there, basically. So move this all along. Oh yeah, we also did, I forgot. We need, whoops, wrong one. So we need to check if our alarm is equal to -1. Basically, I did this before, and what it means is so that you can't just go randomly deleting stuff, and you know, accidentally deleting your favourite quest or something, when you were meant to be deleting a totally different one. So, if our quests, I'll go over this bit quickly because even though you know about DS grids and stuff, you might not know about this. This basically accesses that slot in our grid. So our 0 slot in our grid, and that it basically accesses it and says what's in it. So if it equals, what did you call it? Empty. So if it's empty, if our slot's empty. Oh no, wait. No, we're going to delete them. Rather. This is deleting it. So it's just whatever it is, it's setting it to empty. So our 1 is our information, and our 0 is our name. And we're going to set our alarm to 120. Oh, I've just banged my mic. Yeah, that's it for the removing of a quest. We've got a very, very important bit. Do not forget this, whatever you do. So, game end. You don't want to have a memory leak. By doing this, you're destroying the grid. Destroyed the grid. Grid destroy. So it means it's not looping over it every time, making more grids that you don't use. This prevents lag, basically. You get extreme lag otherwise. So I'm going to draw a GUI. And we're going to draw in the quest list. Draw the quest list. So if yeah, I'm just gonna put this down for now. So if our room is not room loading, so what we're gonna do later is we're gonna make a room called room loading, and I'll explain it when we get there, basically. So for I ri equals 0, I is bigger than ds grid height. So you can change the amount of slots as well. It will be automated. Dot quests -1. Oh, I forgot my thing again. My extra bracket. That's very important. I've lost. I plus plus. Oh no, I don't want that. I don't want a colon. I definitely don't want a colon. Otherwise, it won't be much use of having my for loop at all. There's a big bit of drawing here. I draw set alpha 0.3. So this is just going to set our so we're going to be sort of transparent because you don't want it to be like solid, otherwise you won't be able to read the text. So again, these values, they're just for my view, which I'll show you later what my view is. It's quite a nice view, I find. But if you're using like a massively zoomed out game, you know, high graphics sort of thing, you might not want this sort of pixelated view. Wait, am I not? Yeah. Then we're gonna set it back to 1. So what this is doing is it's drawing all of our slots in. So it's going to be drawing our slots. This is just scrolling through all of the slots. Wait, what have I done here? Oh. This is going to be scrolling through all of our slots. And just drawing a rectangle for each slot, basically. Now, we're going to be drawing in our text. So, draw set. Yeah, we're going to make a font for this as well. Going to be called font small because it's going to be quite a small font. It needs to be. But we'll do this later after we've made this actual first bit. Then we're going to actually draw our text finally. So we want it near our rectangle, basically. So 42 plus 30 times by I. 620. What am I doing? What? I'm reading from the wrong bit here. Sorry. Quests. Now we're going to access it again and find our slot. So it's going to find our slot and draw it in. And we're going to copy this and do the exact same for the information, just this is going to be 52, so 10 pixels below it. And this is going to be 1 as well, because that'll give us our information. It is bigger. I think we're almost done now for the quests. So I made another font as well called font default, so you can set it back to your normal font. And yeah. So let's make those fonts now, actually. So call it font small, and we had it basically exactly the same, just size 7. And we're gonna make another one, called it font default, and this is gonna be exactly the same as it is default. Okay. I guess we need to make some sprites now and some rooms and stuff. So more the arty side of things. So we're gonna have sprite. Our first one's gonna be sprite button. So this is what we're gonna press, and it's gonna give us a new quest. 1 second. Sorry about that. I just really needed to cough. So let's pick a nice little red, and we're just gonna draw a circle. So when we click on this, it's going to give us a quest. So in this case, it'll just be, name and info, but you can make it whatever you want. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make our loading stuff. I'll just quickly explain why we need this loading stuff. We need the loading stuff because what we're going to do is, before we go to our main room, we're going to go to this loading room, and this loading room is going to create our quests, initialize them, and because it's persistent, which it is now, it's going to follow us through all the rooms. So you don't want to place the quests in any other room apart from the loading room, because I tried it and it just draws them over each other, so it draws it on top of the other one, the old one. Oh. Sorry again. So I think I'll just make another one quickly. I had one set out before, but yeah, I can't be bothered to find it again. Not quite sure how to do this. I'll try and going to, here it is. So we want all of them. So here's something I made earlier. Yeah, blue Peter moment there, and it's just a derpy sort of loading bit. You can make your own. It's not a key bit. I'm gonna make another one, sprite loading text, which is also something I made. It's just kind of, it's just pixelating pixels, and that's a little dye bit. I'm gonna make a room as well. This is gonna be our loading room, so it's gonna be room loading. And again, you can change these values to whatever you want your screen size to be. This is my screen size, and it's just, if I do it at like 180 or full HD, it like makes a mess basically. So we're gonna put our quests in. If I put that in, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna add a nice background as well. I find this sort of colour looks quite nice. Also, what I forgot to do is make our loading bits into objects so we can place them in. And we need to make it so we've got an image speed as well, which we'll do quickly. So image speed equals, actually there's quite a lot I need to do in this bit. So what this is it's setting our alarm to 5 seconds. So it will stay on this loading screen for 5 seconds, and then it will go on to our main room. So we're gonna have an alarm, obviously. Whoop, not that one. We don't want that one. We want our alarm 0. Let's just say an alarm. Put whatever in you want. Yeah, I normally put stupid things in. If our time is up. Go to our main show. So if our 5 seconds is up, we're going to go to the main room. So if alarm 0 equals -1. Oh. Oh dear. Room go to room main. We haven't made the room main yet. But for the minute, it doesn't need to. Make another object. I'm going to call it object loading text. This is going to be for our text, of course. It says in the name. Another like handy trick. You can just sort of left click on the code and it just drags it over automatically. Oh dear. So what we're gonna do, we don't need a. We're just gonna set the image speed. We don't need a. Wrong. Trying to use it as a function then. So yeah, let's just go in and I'm just gonna set our snap to 1, so we can place it wherever we want. So just have it there. Have that there. That looks okay. And we're gonna make our room that we went to before called room main. You're obviously going to want to adapt this to your own things. You might have like a starting screen, I know, something like that. We're going to have views in this one though. This is my own view. You can change this obviously to whatever you have your viewers already. I can understand people will have views, but if you're doing this from scratch, you know, this often does it. Oh yeah, and we're just gonna make a player quickly as well. Yeah, so I can demonstrate that it goes with you. Just a pretty basic player, and we'll just have a green player. So yeah, if you've already got a game, then you'll obviously have a player. But I found this is quite handy if you just do switch and you can, yeah, basically this here, you can just copy all this and that'll let you move around. It's quite handy. I always find that handy. Whatever I'm doing, I always try to use that. We're gonna give it a nice sort of greeny colour as well for our main room. Right, objects in our main room. Maybe we're not gonna have green, because then we won't be able to see our player. Let's have a yellowy colour. Ugh. It's a horrid yellow colour, but yeah, it'll do. We don't want any of these in, so we don't want a question for this. What we do want to do is go back into the views though, and we want to be following our player at 320 and 180. Right. Final thing, we're going to make our object button. So this is how we're going to add a quest. So in this case, we're just going to click a button. You could add this so you've got NPC dialogue, you know, you accept a quest. There's so much you can do with this. I've played around with it in my own game. Yeah. So I'm going to make a script. This is a quick, easy bit that I made. It's to shorten it down. It's going to be add quest. So script add quest. And we also want to have some things. So we want name and info. So what we're going to do is we can call on this script whenever we want and just put the name in and the info in, and it'll add it automatically using this script. So it comes in handy a lot. Var info equals, yeah, getting my keyboard muddled up. So we're gonna check to see if our quest already exists. So if we've already got that quest, we don't want to have it again. That'd be a bit pointless, wouldn't it? You'd get 2 rewards. It would be very confusing. You don't have to have this, I guess. You know, if you're having one with similar, I'm just going to call this in, because we're actually going to have another var I later, and I don't want them getting confused. I don't know if they do. If they do change, if they're already called on, but I don't want to mess it up, and this just works easier. So we're going to call on it if it equals the name. Then we're going to show a message. We're going to say, you already have this quest. Whoops. Lots of exclamation marks. We're going to return then, because we don't want to do any more if you've already got it. Next, so if we've not got it, we want to add the quest. So you can call on this whenever you want. This will do for whatever. I think also you'd need to change this to how many slots you want. I was looking at it and thinking, should I change it? You know, to the DS grid height. But I figured you're all capable of doing that yourself. A few tweaks, you know, 2 tweaks, could make massive difference in your game. What am I doing? So if our name, we really need to check our name. We don't need to check our info, because it should do them both together. Whoops. So if our name is 0, then global.quests. Oh, I've been missing out some S's here, sorry. We'll see what errors pop up. Well, sorry, mic just popped then. It's because I've not got a proper mic, unfortunately. Doesn't like peas and yeah, it doesn't like peas basically. So if our quest, basically if it's empty, if our slot's empty, then yeah, if our thing's empty, we're gonna add it. I might add another bit in here as well, so if not to all, then we're gonna show message the quest slots are all full. And yeah, I think we're almost done now. We're just gonna go into our button and yeah, left pressed. And this is our final bit. So we're gonna add the quest. And all we need to do is script add quest, and for this case I'm just going to put name and info. So you can change them to whatever you want. You can have it set as a variable, so change it to do the NPC maybe. Now, oh, I've forgotten something, haven't I? I know I've forgotten something. Need to put a button in, so put it there. Now, with a bit of luck, this will all work. I've got a feeling though I missed out some of the S's off quests. So, nope, I haven't. So it's going to have this, and it's going to initialize this, and here we go. This is our quest. So again, we can move around. When we click this, it shows up on here, it adds it to the quest. Click it again, we've already got the quest. So yeah, it's working perfectly. Another thing, they look a bit fuzzy. I'll just show you how to do that quickly, how to solve that. It's nothing to do with, not that one. It's nothing to do with my code, don't worry. It's to do with the graphics in global game settings. It's interpolating colours between pixels, basically fuzzes it all up. So that looks like we're done. Hope you enjoyed this longish video. Remember to subscribe, like, comment with any issues or suggestions, and I will talk to you later.